being recorded. Please be aware for legal transactions. I do not hold you if you're accountable for anything you say on this video or anything you may act or do. Do you both agree to these terms?
I
I
do.
don't wanna. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm good.
Off to a perfect
Ba-da,
start. All right.
ba-da, 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 ba-da,
I'm being forced against my will to do this. No, I'm
I remember that clip. All right, here we go. Blah, 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 blah. I am fully ready. I am awake. I don't need no Mountain Dew for this. This is All Elite Wrestling AEW Revolution. Whoa, look at mine. I did it. All right, here we go. Whew. Whew. What is a revolution? Is it a movement? Is it a statement? Is it something that is started by one? Or is it something that is encouraged by many? It started back last year in 2019 with a rally, a call out to us. And now it has come full circle under Chicago, inside downtown Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Simplin Predictin Wrestling, AEW Revolution. Hello, everybody. Now, I'm just a simple man, and my name is Noah Foster, and welcome to the first in TeamIndyDQ's AEW wing, Simplin Predictin Wrestling video. As me and fellow members of TeamIndyDQ here, we are going to assess, predict, and showcase overall hype for AEW Revolution, the first pay-per-view under the AEW banner this year for the year 2020. And we have a stacked card of 7 matches, including one that was officially made tonight on AEW Dynamite. And we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this anticipation debut, but I digress, and we'll get more into that later. Before I get into all that, allow me, of course, to introduce you to the panel tonight. First off, he's different. He is very passionate. He will let you know what he thinks, and you just gotta roll with it. The Archangel and leader, I might add, of Weymouth Youth Wrestling, a no DQ inspired wrestling promotion. My good friend here, the Archangel, James Hebert. James, how are you this Wednesday night?
Hello, my name is James Hebert. You may know me from such series as A Simple Interview, WYW, as well as the producer for WYW Immortal, and also for the Wrestling Rundown, and also lots of different other wrestling shows that I can't keep track of, including right here on Simply Predictin.
There you go. No,
If you don't know me by now, are you okay? Let's talk about your feelings.
Uh-oh.
And with that being said, of course, encouraging that type of motivation. You all should know this person by now if you see my channel, as we are simply known as the Simple Holiday. Because he is a family man. He is a passionate wrestling fan. He has his own flavor in wrestling. And go follow his channel for just some simple breaks in your day for the latest in wrestling news, reviews, and not rundowns. But as of course, my good friend here, the Holiday, Christopher Mace. Chris, how are you this Wednesday night?
Oh, another fun-filled day at work. A lot going on with that. So it's time to talk about some wrestling, relax a little bit. I got to defend my half of the AEW predictions title for Team IndyDQ with good brother Chris, finally.
Yeah, so I saw. That's right, because we have not messed with AEW since their last pay-per-view, because that's what we do for Team IndyDQ, and their last pay-per-view was last year at AEW Full Gear. But boy, are they coming out swinging hard, fast, and powerful with this 7-card pay-per-view. And yes, folks, it is a normal pay-per-view, only available on the Bleacher Report app for $50. Encourage your friends to split it with you. I'm splitting it with my good friend in Team IndyDQ, TJS. We are both going to enjoy the hell out of this show. With that being said, I talked enough. Let's just get right into it. There's a reason I have pins and blazers. I get serious. By now, we are going to go off the script. Let's go ahead and start off with our first match. It is a match that started back, as far as AEW goes, with a man's arm broken and a low blow. That was basically this man's way that he basically spoke, as he has not said a single word, nor has had a single match yet in AEW. And now he makes his debut against the Natural. It is Dustin Rhodes versus Jake Hager. Now, before I give you all my predictions and the backstory to this, These guys, they know these matches well. We just saw AEW Countdown. You talk about a way to build a show and get you into the show and let you know how it all came to be. They can give you a backstory to whatever match you want. And that's what I'm going to encourage here. As this first match, I am going to to James. James, your thoughts on this match, the build, and your pick. And if you want, please encourage people how this match came to be.
So, the beginning of this match all started when Jake Hager made his debut to AEW. One of the first people that Jake Hager ended up attacking was Dustin Rhodes as part of the Inner Circle. As time goes on, and by the way, I don't know if it's... I should have came prepared, but this might actually work, so you never know. But as time went on, he then would go on to attack Dustin Rhodes again, this time low-blowing him, denting his head into a limousine, and then breaking his arm, in kayfabe, of course, for months. And then Dustin wanted a piece of him at Revolution after he beat Sammy Guevara, and he called him Jericho's bitch, which set off Jake Hager and demanded at this point for this match with Dustin Rhodes. And now we are getting it at Revolution. On Countdown, they showed his highlights of his Bellator MMA bouts. The undefeated Jake Hager in MMA, how he's a 3-sport athlete, and 4-sport if you count pro wrestling. This man can do it all. That's how they build this man, and they call him the Big Hurt for a reason. Taz and Tony Schiavone and JR and everybody built this man up like he was the next big thing. Honest to God, they built. I have never been more excited for a freaking Jake Hager match in my life. They built this up so damn well. And as far as who I think is going to win, I was originally thinking Dustin, but after seeing this Countdown show, I got to change my vote on that, and thank God I didn't even give it yet. And I got to go with Jake Hager. I think the Big Hurt's going to come out with his first win in AEW, and but regardless, I'm just looking forward to the match just because of the hype around it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how Jake Hager does in his first professional wrestling match since probably his last appearance on Lucha Underground, at least mainstream-wise. This is going to be a crazy match to see. Like, and by the way, we're going to get to it later, but I did want to point this out, and this is a huge thing. AEW, in this one Countdown special, also bridged the gap between Bellator and UFC. That is huge. That is very huge for anybody that's a fan of MMA and who even knows about MMA in general, like myself. That was absolutely, positively huge that Bellator and UFC were on the same program. Just thought I'd give that tidbit out there.
Indeed, because those are two very different environments with their own rules and regulations. And again, the man, he's been for them both and has had a very compelling career. Now, that being said, your pick is Jake Hager to win his debut against the Natural. All right. Chris Mace, what about you? What's your pick? And any other thoughts you want to lend to this match?
Well, James just summed it all up for me pretty much. So, Jake Hager hasn't had a wrestling match in AEW yet. Dustin Rhodes, like I said, he is the veteran. He is the old school mentality at this point in his career. He's going to be the one putting over the younger stars. Now, Jake Hager isn't one of the younger stars. He's been around the business for a little bit, but he is undefeated in Bellator. He has a blah blah blah. He has a successful career doing MMA fighting. Now he's back, and he's going to be better than ever. He's going to get his first win here. He's going to beat Dustin Rhodes.
I think we're going to see, I'm going to add to that too as well, Mace. I think we're going to see stuff out of Jake Hager that we've never seen before in the wrestling ring. I am very, very much looking forward to what Jake does in the ring, because we're not going to get that Kurt Angle ripoff. No. This is a whole different Jack. You think you know him? You don't know Jack. You don't know Jack, motherfucker, because he's coming like a steam train, and he's gonna mow right down Dustin Rhodes to make his first impression known.
There's a reason why Chris Jericho brought him into his inner circle and literally has been the guy behind it all, but really the enforcer. Not saying a word, but definitely impactful in the ring and a difference maker. Now going through MMA and Bellator, beyond his amateur wrestling background, when he was, a former personality you all might remember, Jack Swagger. There's
We
no
the
doubt in my
people.
mind we're going to see a brand new Jake Hager. And I'm sure JR, he's very supportive of this, fellow Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma person. It's Oklahoma versus Texas, too. So this is a real rivalry. Of course, this show's not even.
Oh, 100%. I did not even think that until you brought that up. I wish they actually put that on the countdown. You should work for them, Noah. Who would have thunk it?
I'm fine dealing with my little simple atmosphere with y'all. But anyway, with that being said, I gotta agree. What?
One more thing as well. On top of that, I just realized this actually. Damn it. It slipped my mind.
Blank.
How does that happen?
It's called a block, dude. It happens, brother.
Oh, man.
It's all right. You probably can come back to it or just put a disclaimer in the comments down below like I do. With that being said, I got to agree. Well, it's his debut. It's Jake Hager. Obviously, Dustin, he is timeless, okay? You really thought he was done when he was Goldust or Dustin Rose, etc. But look at how he's redefined himself in AEW, giving us a match of the year candidate with his own brother, Cody. And if you didn't feel something real in that match, especially after the moment where the two embrace each other, he says, I need my older brother. You are not a fan of professional wrestling. And there's no doubt that Dustin is all about putting over, like you said, the up-and-coming talent. Look at the people he's been in the ring with and working with under AEW. Sammy Guevara, the Young Bucks, QT Marshall, the list goes on and on. With that being said, though, it's going to be an aggressive match. Dustin's out for blood, and he hates the guy, according to Countdown. Hager, no words, but he's going to speak with action. I have to go with Jake Hager to win his debut.
As Camille said in NWA Power, even though she hasn't said it, but she's tweeted it, silence is golden.
And she has her own shirt to back that up that says that same thing. And while we're doing this, let me also add, ladies and gentlemen, wins and losses truly do matter here. They do have a ranking system. This is going to be his first, so he obviously, I feel like, needs the win here. I can't see Hager starting out his AEW career 0-1. And Dustin right now, he is 3-2 this year alone. As again, they look at the rankings yearly, but they do track your overall. If you want more overall facts, folks, please go to AEW's website. With that being said, that's our first match. Let's go ahead into our second one. And I'm going to change it up a little bit here. And Chris, I'm going to allow you to get the background on this one, as this match is a definition of you really wonder how far will someone go to either A, prove something to themselves, or B, get payback. This is Cody with Arn Anderson versus Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF with Wardlow. I could talk about this match all night long, but Chris, I'm giving this one to you. Give me your thoughts, your backlog to this in your words, and your pick.
Like I said, we all knew, we all had this feeling. Everybody, it was like you could see it a mile away. You knew MJF was going to turn on Cody. It was given. You didn't know it, then I'm sorry, you were blind to it. But you knew it was going to happen the way they did it when Cody versus Jericho for the AEW Championship. And MJF threw in the towel, cost him the title. Then you see him, I'm sorry. And then you see it, the nut shot heard around the world. Then you get to the point now Cody's out for revenge, but MJF don't want nothing to do with him. In the meantime, he goes ahead and he wins the Diamond Battle Royal. He wins it. Now, he's got little issues with DDP during that time. Cody's trying to get his hands on MJF. MJF makes all these stipulations. You're going to take 10 lashings. You can't touch me at all during the whole time until the event. And you're going to fight Warlord in a steel cage match. He comes with all kinds of stipulations. Therefore, Cody does it. He takes the 10 lashings, which is by far one of the more barbaric things you'll see in a long time. Then on top of all this stuff, he has to go through Warlord in a steel cage match. He survives that. So now this is the final showdown here with these two guys right now. This built up for so long. You're going to see this. MJF versus Cody. Cody's out for revenge, but you can't count out MJF. He is a smart guy. You got to tell you what. He's got all this plan. He's got a plan. And I'm going with MJF to win and get this victory here. because he's got an idea. He's got a plan. What's going to happen? Somebody was referencing before, bringing up on other little sites here. Will they have some MLW friends come back to help him? What's going to happen? We don't know for sure, but I have this good feeling that MJF will win this match and defeat Cody by hook or by crook. He's going to do it.
All right, then. James, what's your pick?
I agree with Chris on going with MJF, and to kind of add to his little theory, I have a theory of my own. Now, I would say, would he have MLW friends that would help him? Here's the problem with that. If MJF is the man that I know he's being, which is a master of kayfabe, he's not going to go to his former friends in MLW. You got to remember, I believe he turned on Alexander Hammerstone and Chris Holiday in MLW. So
Correct.
That's not happening anymore.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So I think this is happening right now in AEW, and we're seeing it form before our very eyes. Noah, we were on the Simple interview, and we talked about how New Japan, they have their 4 main factions. Right now, AEW has 3. I think another one could be in the works, and it's all under our noses, and we don't even see it really happening until I kind of picked up on the little key facts here, and I'm going to lay them out to you as we go along. Tully Blanchard has been recruiting a partner for Shawn Spears for a while now. Shawn Spears has been on Dark. He's been in search for a tag team partner. It's not been on Dynamite, but it's been tucked away, and it's been a key interest in Dark, right? Mm-hmm. Now, we move over to Adam Hangman Page. He's tag team partners and tag team champions with Kenny Omega, but right now he doesn't want to be a part of the Elite. He wants to be his own man. He wants to be his own guy, right? He could turn on the Elite. This is very known. We are expecting this at some point, right? Then you have MJF and Cody. What's going on with that? And you already have him teamed up with Wardlow. My proposition is they're going to do a 4 horsemen-like faction with Hangman Adam Page as the new Tully Blanchard, in a sense. MJF as the Ric Flair. Ole Anderson as Shawn Spears. And Arn Anderson, in this case, Mr. Mayhem Wardlow. Now tell me that's something you would not be interested in seeing.
You talk about a lot of stuff there, and we've seen people compare the WCW principles to AEW. And again, Tony Khan says he does not want to repeat the mistakes of WCW and AEW.
That was a mistake. Four Horsemen was no mistake.
No, that was a statement faction forever known in the entities of the wrestling business. And talk about revolution, that's evolution and beyond. That is a very, very bold setup right there, James. And I would love to see that, because right now it's just me. Am I going to be the odd one out? What can we not say about Cody and his connection with the fans and his drive with this business, with this company, to bring wrestling to the forefront for the fans that want something different? Like he says, we are professional wrestling. He has driven so much into this for us, blood, sweat, and tears, pure simple as that, as he looked that steel cage spot, and he made Wardlow look like a star. And by the way, let's not forget, Wardlow was brought in by MJF, as is Heavy, when we saw that Burberry tie worn by him when Cody was out for revenge against MJF. And of course, then that saga started. Then he won the 42K diamond ring, and then he brought in BBB as his hide muscle to basically destroy Cody as well. So those factors could also come and play here too, because keep in mind, folks, BBB are not booked for this show. But with that being said, there is everything right now going for MJF. But Cody, he's all about putting over the future, but he also wants to, of course, really be not just a businessman. He wants to be a professional wrestler, and he shows both fronts. But does Cody need the win here more, or does MJF just going to really rub it in Cody even more? He already ensured that Cody can never, ever challenge for the AEW World Championship. And I feel like Cody's going to truly keep that promise. I know never say never, but I feel like it's truly something different. That being said, I ranted long enough. And again, you cannot find a bigger, pure, 24/7 asshole in the business than MJF. And he has the rocket strapped him. There's a reason why Cody saw something from him since freaking All In. I have to agree with you here. I have to imagine that MJF, after everything we've seen, everything, I can't imagine Cody winning this and MJF being like, I want a freaking rematch. No way in hell. I gotta go with MJF.
If they do the little Four Horsemen kind group, you know where you hear it first. Just saying.
You heard it here first, folks. And Simply Predictin, James Hebert. I will fully give him the crap for that. With that being said, we talked about a couple of insanely strong, driven, passionate single storylines, both featuring the Rhodes, ironically. And I'm just pointing these out at random. Let's go ahead and change gears a little bit and look at a title match. We've been wondering what they were going to do with this person for reasons. And it has sparked the community in the worst way possible in some degree. But now you have this anomaly challenging for the title. And right now, she is one of my top 2 in AEW's women's division. Oh, by the way, before I go on, apologies, folks. The record for Cody right now, he is 4-0. MJF is 3-0. Someone's getting their first loss this year. Anyway.
Yeah, and what about Dustin and Jake Hager?
Dustin is a 3-2, and Jake Hager, is 0-0.
Exactly. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that. But let's go ahead and talk about the only women's showcase here, as the women's division is still figuring out itself. But you truly are seeing, if nothing else, the caliber of in-ring talent they have. As we have the AEW Women's Championship match with Nyla Rose, who is the current champ, beating Rico after her incredible 130-day-plus reign. Literally went full circle since the debut, where she faced her for the inaugural championship and lost. And she finally picked it up in a match I think people will definitely remember for the ages for AEW's women's division, wherever Riho might be at this point. It's Nyla Rose, who currently, has a record of 3-1 versus the Galaxy's favorite alien, and definitely the most bizarre, unique, original wrestler I have seen in a long time from a women's standpoint, Chris Statlander. And Chris Statlander has had an incredible start in AEW, and her singles record is 3-1. We all know where her botch came from, and we're not going to bring that up. With that being said, you know how this match came to be. Chris Statlander, she came out after Nyla, she brought a promo, and she literally booped the title. And Big Swole, she came to make her case. But in the rankings, when you look at Riho and they don't do automatic rematch clauses, who's the next best right now? Chris Statlander. So we officially had this match made. And since then, both these women, they look at each other as challenges they have to overcome. But is Nyla ready to give up this title when she just won it? After proudly powerbombing everybody else in the AEW's women's division, I might add, through tables, included but not limited to Shauna, Sadie Gibbs, and the other person I can't think of right now. Apologies. But with that being said, it's her first freaking title defense. But would you really do that? Because you listen to the fans, but do you listen to that part of the community? And I would love to see her as champ. Damn it. But I feel like right now you're still figuring out stuff, and there's still plenty of options for Nyla to try and overcome. And this will be the first. I think Nyla Rose is retaining. Chris, what about you? What's your thoughts on this women's championship match and your pick?
This is an interesting match, and unfortunately, this match is going to be looked at under scrutiny, and it's unfortunate because of the circumstances around it. Mm-hmm. It's not. I don't think it's a fair analysis. I can understand both sides of the argument, but at the same time, too, Nyla Rose earned the right to be called a champion. Period. She has worked her way up through wrestling to become a champion. I do not care what anybody else has to say about that. We are strictly talking about professional wrestlers working their way up to earn the right to call themselves a champion. That's what she did.
Damn right.
With that being said, I do not see her losing in her first title defense, especially if I wish it had been somebody else besides Chris Statlander, because I love her wrestling ability. Her record is, like you said it was 3-1.
Correct.
If it was if they had made this match with Rio as the champion, I could easily go Chris Statlander winning this title, but that's not the case. I don't see Nyla Rose losing. I do not think AEW is listening to any of the criticism or the backlash or anything about this. They're going to go push Nyla Rose. She's going to retain this title. Unfortunately, if she loses this title, and I'm going to make this statement clear, it will be a travesty because everybody's backlash instead of giving the wrestler, an opportunity and a chance with all the backlash. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Well said. And by the way, folks, these rankings, they are before AEW Dynamite has updated their rankings. As we're just coming off literally AEW Dynamite from tonight, Wednesday, February 26th, and AEW Countdown. This is being recorded as of right now, but is going on to 11:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, February 26th. Just so you're aware. I like to keep it honest. I also keep it simple. Sometimes we go the mile. It's as simple as that. James, your pick on this match.
So I'm going to add some stuff to what Chris has already said. And yes, I fully agree. As a fan, it should not matter who the person is or if she switched genders or not. And let's address it. That's no one gives a shit. The bottom line is she feels comfortable as a woman. Let her be a woman. She's the women's champion, and she earned that right. I fully agree with that. As far as the people hating on this, guess what? Did you fucking tune in, motherfuckers? Yeah, exactly. You probably tuned in because you were curious. You probably found out about AEW because of this. Good. Give me your view. Give me your money. At that point, Nyla Rose should be thinking exactly like that. Not because of the hate. The hate can fuck off. But because of the controversy that they created, if they're going to create more eyes, let them. As Eric Bischoff once said, as Eazy-E said before, infamously, controversy creates cash, right?
Yeah, he made a book about it.
There you go. There you go. If it's controversial to you guys, you're most likely going to watch. And I know there are people, here's looking at you, Jim Cornette, that are watching. In fact, I'll even credit Jim Cornette. He actually came up with the idea that he should be, I think that's way overboard. But he's like, oh, they should mention the fact on TV she's trans. No, let them make a big deal about it. They're already giving the publicity to it. Whatever. Good. And guess what? Because I think they're going to continue riding that momentum that they are freely giving them because of their blind hatred towards something that really, honest to God, shouldn't be an issue, I'm picking Nyla Rose to retain. It's that simple. That is a money draw right there. In general, regardless of how we got there, Nyla Rose is money. Not to mention the fact, her promo that she cut on Dynamite on Dynamite 2 weeks ago, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The fire that she had in her promo, the fire, the bass she had in her voice, the emphatic nature in which she delivered that promo, and talked about how she's the queen in this hive and how there's not a beast like her. I'm like, that's good. Like, I felt that. Like, that she meant that. That wasn't scripted for her. That wasn't WWE scripted garbage. That was real. That was fully real. And I loved every minute of it. Nyla Rose retaining, no questions asked.
And just to add something on that real quick, and then we're going to go to the next match.
Sure.
Here's the point on this real quick. If there was never an issue with her being in wrestler, then nobody complained really. They knew about it, but they didn't complain about it. She had wrestling matches since the start of AEW, Double or Nothing, everything going on. They've had no issues with it. They've had talks about it, but no issues. I don't like the fact it only became an issue when she became champion. That's not right. It's either should have been addressed as soon as, immediately as soon as it was started, and it could have been done and over with, water under the bridge, not only when she became champion, that now it's an issue. And I don't think that's right.
I fully agree with that. I'm not even disagreeing with that. But as I said, if they're going to make it an issue now, whatever. Good.
Yep.
Feed me your tears.
We'll see what Tony Khan has to say in the post-media scrum, which I'm sure they'll have one after this pay-per-view. Because that's definitely going to be a topic to talk about, regardless of the result for this match. With that being said, let's move on, gentlemen. So the next match, all right. What? Finally? What? All right, guys. Just let's just try and keep it simple, short, and serious here. But
I can tell the story. I know what match
go
this
for
is.
it, James. The next match we're going to predict is Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Go for it and give me your pick.
All right. So Orange Cassidy tonight on Dynamite got punched in the face by Pac after he lost in his Iron Man match tonight. And they have scheduled the match between Orange Cassidy and Pac. And here's why I'm smiling, really. Because while I do believe that Pac will ultimately win, this is going to be the best showcase for Orange Cassidy. And I'll tell you 2 specific reasons why. 1, he's over like a motherfucker. There's no doubt about it. That guy gets a major reaction. That's one thing. The second thing is, I've seen him actually wrestle in the indies. He's actually fucking phenomenal. You're all going to see something out of Orange Cassidy that I don't think anybody else has seen yet. And that's what everybody has been waiting for, seeing Orange Cassidy do shit that you did not think he was capable of. It may be an 8-minute squash, or it could be the best Orange Cassidy match you've seen on Dynamite or on any AEW television in general. The bottom line is Pac will win, but Orange Cassidy is going to get the shine. Guarantee you that right now. And I like it. I think this is, again, the whole thing of, oh, these serious wrestling fans are, getting all serious and all this shit, and they don't like the goofy shit. Well, feed me your tears, because guess what? Everybody, and I love this, by the way, because I looked at these analytics that Jim Cornette looked at and that Brian Last looked at. They highly neglected one person that was getting those quarterly ratings that they mentioned. So MJF, Cody, all these other guys, right behind them, and not by much, by like probably about 100, maybe like 100,000 people, is Orange Cassidy. He's over, folks. He may not be everybody's cup of tea, but at this point, I'm entertained, and I fucking love it. Enough said.
Well said. Okay. I just wanted to get that out there because I know people are already throwing a fit, half and half, between this match happening and this man, the fact he's over. And I agree, because I've seen his matches basically working Beyond Wrestling. And if you all haven't watched Being the Elite, you should. But he and Chris Statlander are not only former rivals in Beyond Wrestling, over title, I might add, they're also good friends, and they also have this unique chemistry where no words are said, just gestures and action. Orange Cassidy has been the difference maker for the best friend since his arrival in AEW, and he's still, to this day, I feel like it's the biggest pop every time he shows up on television. Now he's been getting involved with the Bunny, Alley. That could lead to something. I've been enjoying that interaction. I went to the show live in Cleveland, and I saw him and Tully Blanchard go face-to-face, hands in pockets, kicks to kicks. The man is over, but the man actually can wrestle. Just go look at Kylie Ray versus Orange Cassidy, for example, from Beyond Wrestling. Go look at some of his matches from Beyond Wrestling. I talked a little bit about Orange Cassidy and who he's been in the ring with on AEW Spark. With that being said, I completely agree. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind, unique showcase match, and it's Orange Cassidy's freaking AEW in-ring Dynamite debut, his first match when he got jacked in the jaw. With that being said, though, Pac super pissed, coming off a phenomenal Iron Man match, another first time ever in AEW history and AEW Dynamite. And he was in the mood for no games. If you think Pac's losing this, I think you're insane. But if you think this isn't going to be the best Orange Cassidy you've seen in AEW, you're also insane. And by the way, I'm looking forward to Orange Cassidy going one-on-one with Minoru Suzuki. There I said, because guess what, folks? That's a match that's actually happening during WrestleMania weekend under the mecca of all wrestling shows, and I will be predicting it and watching it. With that being said, I ranted, I laughed, I showed excitement, I showed my assessment and interest long enough. My pick is simply Pac. Chris, your pick on this match.
I'm going to be the brave one because I'm always the brave one on these shows. I'm the one who picks the odd picks. I'm going with Orange Cassidy, and I'm going to tell you why. Nope, before you two start laughing and going, he's insane. Haven't I beat y'all both on picks before when I picked insane picks? Kip Saban's one for double or nothing.
I'll give you that.
But nope. I'm gonna explain. Let me explain why. But you two just start laughing at each other and giggling like little girls right now. Y'all calm down. Let me got this.
It's fine.
Okay, this man is one of the more over people in AEW, just by simply not talking, putting his hands in his pocket, thumbs up, being there in the corner for the best friends. This is only built up because Pac was pissed off. He lost his Iron Man match and punched him in the face. This is the whole build, this whole match. This is Orange Cassidy's debut. Now, we've seen in the past people debuted and not won matches, a.k.a. Jeff Cobb, for example. So, here's the thing. You got a guy that's majority over, and if you saw, like James said about the analytics, he's getting more of the views and stuff of what's going on. Just Orange Cassidy with the best friends. I think we're going to get this big upset here. I think this is going to make Pac even more pissed off, even more dangerous, and then he'll go after the best friends and they'll continue a feud. That's what they'll go further down the road of the story. So I say Orange Cassidy is going to get this upset win.
All righty then. Very bold, sir, and I respect you, and I'm not going to say the same thing that Stephen says about Jerry because you're not the bottom. And sometimes being bold, it pays off. So good luck. Just freshly squeezed your in-ring debut against the bastard Pac, who's going to do everything he can to either destroy you or quickly annihilate you. We'll see what happens.
Now, here's the $1 million question.
Please.
Is it going to be Orange Cassidy 1 or Orange Cassidy 2? Because if it's Tony Schiavone, if Daddy Schiavone gets in the ring, oh boy, I think Pac may be in some trouble.
Well, I mean, he does have an action figure that does have abs, and we don't know what Tony looks like under the suit. I'll tell you right now, under this, I'm skin and bone, but that's a different story. But
hold on.
Point.
Do people know what I'm talking about when I say Tony Schiavone?
Yes.
See,
I
Chris
understand.
knows. Noah, do you know?
I think
Schiavone dressed like Orange Cassidy, got the shades, and then he did the thumbs up, and the whole crowd popped.
Yep. Yeah.
It's the greatest.
I'm telling you, there has to be like an Orange Cassidy day where everybody, I can see AEW Dynamite doing this, AEW on your Instagram. Hey, folks, are you freshly squeezed? Show it off. These two gentlemen know I did, but that's a whole different story. Without the blonde hair, I'm not dyeing my hair blonde. You know what? Fuck it. If Orange Cassidy wins this match, I will go fully freshly squeezed, dye my hair blonde, trim the beard, drink orange juice, and literally wear Orange Cassidy attire live on my next videos for a month following that date.
Oh my God, this is history making. I want Orange Cassidy to win now. I might actually have to change my pick.
No.
That being said,
damn it.
Before we go any further off the rails, let me just say Pac's record as of right now, according to AEW Wrestling.com, it is 1-2. And again, I don't know if they literally just updated it right this second or they're going to update it over time. I'm pretty sure it's updated over time. With that being said, let's move on, guys. We still have a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the last special singles showing match that really comes down to who's going to be left speechless. The Spanish God, Sammy Guevara of the Inner Circle with a record of 2-2 versus another huge up-and-comer who literally said in an interview, AEW has allowed me to buy a house. This guy has literally destroyed his body and basically is half human. His own words. Darby Allin, who has a record of 1-3. We all know how this match was brought about after Darby Allin literally lost his voice after Sammy Guevara drove his own skateboard into Darby Allin's throat. Darby Allin, of course, he wanted to exact revenge. He came back. He used that skateboard to his advantage. Not this week, though, after Sammy Guevara brained him with it and broke it in half. But basically, these two, it's personal. No one's really got a favorite here as Sammy Guevara lost his tag match tonight against Jungle Express thanks to interference by Darby Allin. So with that being said, it's really hard to think about here. I don't know who needs to win more. Darby Allin has had an opportunity for the AEW World Championship and lost, and he's been in the rings with the likes of Cody and Jon Moxley, and he really is one of the highest rising stars in AEW since day one. And then Sammy Guevara, he's almost a brash, arrogant, younger version of Chris Jericho, hence why Jericho brought him under his wing, and they've been part of memes galore together. These two are almost mirrors of each other, and you can tell with their chemistry. With that being said, he needs to win more again. Could Sammy Guevara eventually challenge the champion himself? Could this be like leaning towards the changing of the guard? Similar to what I saw on Ruthless Aggression special, AEW, on Ruthless Aggression, where Randy Orton, Triple H, he saw potential, and next thing you know, Randy Orton, next biggest thing. With that being said, this is the hardest match for me to call, actually. But I'm going to go with just on records alone, because 1 and 4 would be devastating. And again, Darby Allin, as of right now, he's been speaking a few cue cards. He might not even have a voice, kayfabe wise or not. We've seen the mark in his throat, too. He's going to want to do the same thing to Guevara, and I bet you somehow he's going to try and do it here. I'm going with Darby Allin for the win. Chris, who's your pick on this match?
Darby Allin, he's going to be one of the future major stars in AEW in the next couple of years. They're going to build him up. So does Sammy Guevara. But right this moment, Darby Allin is the one you need to push. Like I said, you cannot have a guy this talented. Yes, he had an incredible showing with Chris Jericho for AEW Championship. He's had incredible showings. That match, my favorite match of his still will be him and Cody, the 20-minute time limit draw. That was an amazing story, what they told in that match. He's got to get a big win here on pay-per-view. This will be the moment where he does it here. Darby Allin's getting this win.
Fair enough. James, now are you the odd one out, or are we in complete agreement here? What's your thoughts?
I'll be honest with you. I was thinking of being the odd one out, but after everything Chris has said, it was too sound. Darby does need the win. While Sammy Guevara has not won too many matches this year, and really at all in AEW, you also got to know that Darby needs this big win on pay-per-view. He just does. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He just needs it. He needs that win. There's no doubt in my mind that Darby's coming away, and he's going to hit the coffin drop and possibly try to take Sammy's voice along in the process. So we'll see what happens.
All right, fair enough. Well, I feel like this is pretty obvious with that they might do these two matches back, but AEW might surprise me. But I feel like these two matches right here are truly your biggest stories in recent. I know we've talked about the emotional story and struggle since Full Gear about Cody and MJF, and that really was its own stint. But there's always a bigger picture here with these guys. You see it on Dynamite, but you also see it on BTE. So let's start talking about the Elites, because this is literally an all-elite tag team championship match. I never thought I would say that. It is the current champs and the just out of nowhere, two incredible individual singles wrestlers turned into a tag team. Did not think this could happen. Was applicable in Kenny Omega, the best bout machine, and Mr. Cowboy himself, Hangman Adam Page, dethroning SCU to become the new AEW Tag Team Champions, defending against, of all the teams in the vast AEW Tag Team division, the last two you would expect, and they said themselves they did not expect to see these guys as champions. Now they're facing them for those titles. Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Oh, geez. There are so many things to think about here and what this match might do to being the Elite, one or two or all four of these men as a whole. And this is more, I think, than just for pure championship gold. With that being said, I'm going to restrain my further thoughts for now and throw it over to you, James. Give me your thoughts and your pick on this match. And as a tiebreaker, who eats the fall and who gets it?
Duly noted. Before I give my pick, and you told the story very well, Noah, and we'll go over it more as time goes on. I do want to say that a lot of people, and this has been criticized as well, that Kenny Omega is not one of the greatest performers of all time. And after his recent work on Dynamite, man, I vehemently disagree with that. Every single match type that he's had since he's shown up here has been nothing short of the best of that match type. I know this is going to draw a lot of controversy, but his Iron Man match with Pac tonight on Dynamite was the best Iron Man match I've ever seen. Bar none. Bar none. Bar none. That was so incredible, and here's why it was so good. My mom sat down and watched.
That says something when you bring someone into wrestling with you that are not a normal wrestling fan.
She's not a wrestling fan at all. Okay, and even though she wasn't like super into it just because of the pain, she was enthralled and she couldn't look away, and I could tell. I could tell she was interested vaguely. They're doing something right there. I almost got emotional when I said that, but that's huge. You guys don't understand what that is for a casual fan. You don't understand when a parent just sits there that never watched wrestling before, never had any interest in it, just to sit down for the first hour and watch the first two matches on Dynamite, and especially that first one, the greatest Iron Man match I have ever seen. And not just because my mom watched it, not just because of bias on that, but because of the story they told. That was incredible, and Omega, you deserve a pat on your back, Tommaso Ciampa style for that. Honest to God, and not just the Iron Man match, but the Full Gear match that he had with Jon Moxley, the greatest hardcore match I've ever seen. I don't give a fuck about all these other light tubes that all these other indie companies use. That was one of the greatest hardcore matches I've ever seen, purely for the story they told. Any match type you put Kenny Omega in, it delivers. It does not matter. It's 5 stars, it's 6 stars, it's 7 stars every goddamn day, every day. That man is one of the greatest performers of our generation. And whether he's your cup of tea or not, there's no disputing how good he is in that ring, including as a tag team wrestler, by the way. Out of a makeshift team, Adam Page and Kenny Omega became a top-level tag team overnight.
Yep.
And they explained this on AEW Countdown. But it wasn't because of a common thing. It wasn't because Adam Page wanted to. And they explained this in Countdown. And he tried to leave the Elite. He wanted to leave the Elite. He explained that he wanted to leave the Elite. And that's the story told here. With AEW Countdown explaining this further, and you just saw that great dissension between Omega and Hangman right there in that clip, and just the Young Bucks talking about how Adam Page has changed, and you even see the change in Hangman, and Hangman's living this gimmick, how he's living trying to be a loner, how he's living to try and be the Hangman, just himself, right? A new persona that he's grown out of the Elite. He's not the same happy-go-lucky, buckshot lariat guy that everybody remembered him. He's not. And that is such a great story, and that is what is making the AEW Tag Team title so goddamn important, because of this story within the Elite with Adam Page. It's wonderfully told. It has got me so invested in this tag team match and what will ultimately end up happening. And not to mention the fact that can we just give a round of applause for JR for yet another outstanding interview segment with the Elite. I mean, that was some of the great, like, Adam Page is a great effing actor. Like, if he's not actually drunk and if he's not actually disgruntled, he damn sure looks it. He plays that part so damn well. And even the Bucks just being like, what the hell's your problem, dude? And, like, their acting was phenomenal. And Kenny Omega is right up there with them and just like, bro, come on. This is the business. What are you doing? What? And then he's like, yeah, well, you know what? My drink's almost gone. This story is so damn good. It's so damn good. That being said, I'm going with Young Bucks just because I see it happening. I just see it happening where Page finally snaps. And when he loses the belts, cleanly, mind you, he snaps on all the Elite.
Damn.
You get a buckshot, everybody gets a goddamn buckshot, a dead eye. Everybody gets a dead eye, and it's a long time coming for Adam Hangman Page. The Hangman will start his body count.
Wow. Talk about really going out there. Red Dead Redemption, pretty much. So that being said, who gets the win for the team and who eats the fall?
I think Hangman will not eat the fall. I think Kenny's going to eat the fall. Now, I think Matt's going to... This is a tough one on who's going to get the fall, because it could either be Matt or Nick, and it's not going to change the fact at all, but it has to be Kenny. Kenny has to take the fall. That's the natural story progression there. So, it's a 50-50 shot. So I'm just going to go with Matt Jackson and hope for the best.
All right, fair enough. And very well theatrical storytelling / Rotten Tomatoes criticism review on this incredible story being told. Well said. All right, so with that being said, Chris, what's your thoughts on this match? Your pick to win, who eats and who gets the fall?
James pretty much took a lot of everything I pretty much had in my mind on this match here. Young Bucks are going to win this match. That simple as that to me, as you would say. Young Bucks are winning. Omega's taking the fall, and I'm going to go with Nick taking the pin. Something's going to happen. There's going to be shenanigans. Some bullshit's going to happen. There's going to be a miscommunication with Hangman and Omega. Maybe Hangman's over there just chilling out, drinking his beer while they're having a wrestling match. He's just so fed up with all this crap. Wouldn't surprise me. You don't know what he can do. But, he just fed up with it. Like I said, look at the interview. You could tell he was already getting fed up with everything already. Look at the interview on Dynamite tonight. He's fed up with it. He's grown out of being part of the Elite. He's changed his character into a different environment. He's changed. He is not the same man he was when he first joined the Elite. He wants to be his own person. He wants to be that loner. He does, like I said, he's their tag team champions. They're not going to be tag team champions after February 29th. Like I said, Bucks are winning the tag titles. And then that's where everything goes to shit. Like James said, Hangman Page is going to beat the shit out of all of them. He's going to leave them all laying, and he's going to get his beer, and he's going to walk on off drinking that beer, and that's how it's going to play out.
Man, you guys really gave me food for thought, because I was seriously thinking they were going to retain somehow, because I was really under the idea of Kenny Omega really playing them off here. Page finally getting him, goal gain to him, especially after that singles match where he truly saw the best bout machine in full effect, the cleaner. Oh, man, but you guys make so much sense, because Page really does want to be beyond the Elite. And Omega and the Bucks, they are the Elite. So it really would make sense for Page to finally do that snap and destroy not only the Bucks, but Omega after they lose the titles. God, I thought the freaking other match was hard. Now you made this one even harder. But I'm not going to keep us here all night. We really have gone into more of an address of AEW Revolution, our own version of Countdown Plus. With that being said, after everything you guys said, and this is a pay-per-view, and I feel like you need a change here, per se. I'm actually going to agree with both of you and say that the Young Bucks are going to be becoming new champs. It was talked about in the beginning. Do you think the Young Bucks were going to become the tag team champions? And Private Party beat them. The Young Bucks now with their second opportunity at the gold against their own brothers in the Elite, one that soon might not be a brother. It's really, really compelling storytelling. And it makes sense. Now, with that being said, does Omega, he really eats the fall here? Or does Page eat the fall here and really does snap? It's like, oh, good match. You got nothing to be ashamed of, man. And Omega, he tries to play Mr. Conflict Resolution. And does Omega join the beat down with Page? And they both go heel and form their own tag team finally. God! With that being said, I'm just going to go straight up first thing in my brain and say that Nick pins Page.
Bro,
all right.
And here's another thing. Imagine the story I just laid out with that whole Four Horsemen faction. Imagine that that's the payoff, and that the payoff at the end is Sean Spears and Adam Page winning the tag team titles too. That's another reason why I didn't just book that by accident. That very well may be what they're building to, and that might be Sean Spears' new tag partner.
But Double or Nothing is their next pay-per-view, and how do you make it bigger than the? Fuck it! No, I gotta be both. Fuck it. I'm saying that Omega and Page, they gotta retain the belts. There's gotta be more to this than meets the eye. Their buckshot lariat V-trigger combination, it has literally been the end all to this match. And if the Bucks kick out of that, I'll be a monkey's fucking uncle. I've got to say right now that Omega's going to get the win for the team. They're going to pin Nick. I sense the champs have to retain. There's just something in me that says this has to continue. With that being,
we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, who knows? I might be as fickle on this one, but honestly, I wasn't when I looked at, what's to come for LaChampion, what's currently going on for Jon Moxley, and what might be delayed. And right now, the story been told there. We know the history of these two men. It goes all the way back to WWE and Mitch the Potted Plant and beyond. And we know how this all came to be in AEW through not only Talk Is Jericho with Jon Moxley, one of the most downloaded listens of his podcast to this day and one of my favorites, but also Jon Moxley's story as he's told on freaking Unrestricted on the new podcast hosted by Aubrey Edwards and Tony Schiavone. And we see how this all
by the way.
Between Jericho and Moxley, the whole inner circle angle, the spike to the eye, his work, and Jericho's work in NJPW. This is just going to be an absolutely insane match, and what a way to really build it with not a contract signing, but a weigh-in that went to shit. With that being said, this is our main event, last match of the night, folks. It is Le Champion, Chris Jericho, the inaugural AEW World Heavyweight Champion with a record of 2-0 this year versus the number one rank in AEW's men's roster singles division, Jon Moxley, with a record of, 6-0 this year alone. With that being said, holy crap, what's going to happen here? The guy has held the freaking title. Nobody's been able to take it off him. He's defended successfully against Darby Allin. He's defended successfully against Cody. He went 10 minutes with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy might be a potential contender for the title. Could he face Moxley or could he face Jericho? Jon Moxley's been in the ring with Kenny Omega. He's been in the ring with Darby Allin. He's been in the ring with Jeff Cobb. And I don't know about this one. He has yet to meet Cody in the ring. But with that being said, do I finally see the second AEW World Heavyweight Champion? Especially with all this stuff about Chris Jericho's going on tour with Fozzy. Jon Moxley, as you know, is the current IWGP United States Champion. He won't be defending that title at least for the first part of March and beyond. But with that being said, do I see a new champion? Especially with Double or Nothing coming up, where, I might add, Jon Moxley debuted paradigm shifting Chris Jericho himself. Does it all come full circle there, or does it all come full circle here, why he only has one eye? Will Jericho lose an eye? What hell will break loose? I don't know. So with that being said, I'm going to restrain my thought and throw it over to Chris. Your thoughts on this match and your pick.
This is the toughest match to think about because of the fact you got to look at the whole story here. Moxley first debuted. Who did he attack? He attacked Jericho. He attacked Omega. He pretty much made an impact immediately as soon as he came. Went to New Japan. Won the IWGP United States Championship. Not once, but twice.
Yep.
This is an interesting storyline here with both of them. It's really hard. It's been back and forth. He's lost an eye. He's taken out Jericho to go after everybody that's part of the inner circle. Jericho's trying to prevent him. Jericho's bought him a card and he turned it down. All this stuff going on. Everything comes to a head this Saturday. Comes to a head.
Yep. Moxley
has to win this title. If you did all this build-up, you've had him undefeated in AEW. You've done all this. If he doesn't win the title here, I don't know what the year goes after that because I don't see him getting a rematch with Jericho. Now everybody says, well, Jericho's going on tour with Fozzy. He must be losing the title. I'm going to give you an example real quick, and I hate to use a WWE example. I'm going to give you an example. He was going on tour with Fozzy when he won the U.S. title for the second time against Kevin Owens and then dropped it a couple days later. So you can't give me that whole he was going on tour with Fozzy as an excuse for him to drop the title, because he didn't. He actually won a title right as he was getting ready to go on tour. There's an example. Point made. If they do not pull this trigger and give Moxley the AEW championship, it's going to be a big waste of the whole storyline. The whole storyline payoff needs to be Moxley winning this championship. So with that being said, Moxley needs to become the new AEW champion.
All righty. With that being said, James, who leaves the night as champion?
I firmly agree with Chris Mace. I believe that it's going to happen. I think Moxley's taking the belt, and for all the reasons Mace already mentioned, but for another reason, AEW is smart, and people say predictable's bad. Not all predictable's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not all predictable's bad. You want the predictable to be the right outcome, right?
Correct.
If the best and the undefeated contender in the UFC, for example, beats the champion and remains undefeated and gets the championship, that's a feel-good moment, and everybody saw his dominant rise to the top, and the place is gonna effing explode, right? And you've already seen two huge indicators that Moxley's winning the title. The first is Wrestling 101. Jericho got the last laugh on the go-home show. That's point number one. Point number two is on Countdown. Moxley trained with Randy goddamn Couture to get out of the walls/lion tamer, and defended very well against a spinning back elbow, a la the Judas Effect.
Correct.
He's winning the title. There's no doubt about it. He's got to win the title after seeing that. There's no doubt in my mind. Mox.
It's yeah. Wait. There we go. Did he freeze?
Yep, he froze.
Oh, so close. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta love the billion-dollar industry like Microsoft and Skype. James is probably pitching a pitch right now. Oh Lord, in the words of Chris Mace.
Hold on. I'm gonna wait. I'll personate him real quick because he'll watch the video later. $7 billion company, then fucking freeze that point like fucking million, fuck this shit.
That was the most improper time for that to come out, huh? Holy shit!
Oh, there he is.
Damn, he was on a roll too. As soon as he started mentioning the fact that he trained Reggie Couture and all the time, they're just like, all right, he talked enough. Let's shut him up.
Yep. Oh, there he went.
Right.
Oh.
He's trying to figure it out.
I'm here. Hold on.
Okay, you're
sorry.
fine.
I had apparently my phone was about to overheat because I had it on a charger, so I had to take the charger out.
Oh yeah, you need to watch that. Last thing you need is a slowed up battery, but that's a
yeah. But
yeah,
where was I? Did I end right at the time?
When I said Moxley's got to win the belt? A Judas Effect counter. He's got to win the belt here, and then it went.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to end anyway. Great. Wow,
all right.
I'm shocked. That actually went the way I wanted it to. As funny as that probably was, but this time I actually finished my sentence.
With
Fuck
the great
facial
expression.
You can't get me now, bitch.
Welcome to TeamIndyDQ, folks. We hope you enjoy us. And with that being said, you guys brought up a ton of compelling arguments. And let me also add this. Jericho's 2-0 in trios matches. He has not had a singles match yet this year. His overall record is 10-1-1 in his AEW career. And then you have Jon Moxley, 6-0 singles record this year alone. And his overall career is 11-1-1. If you look at the outlook and the fact that next pay-per-view is double or nothing, you're talking about really going full circle with Jon Moxley entering in as AEW World Champion in the main event, facing who knows who. I have to agree with you. I believe that this is finally the time you find somebody to carry that torch as the champion of the company, see what Jericho does once again to redefine himself, but also change the universe. I agree with you. This is one time I feel like the GOAT is going to pass it all.
Fully agree.
So much history with and respect from WWE. In my opinion, if it wasn't Omega, it has to be this guy. I've got to go with Jon Moxley becomes your new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And boy, the hell that will come following that. I can't wait. Considering who we know is debuting next week. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, all this.
Oh my God! You just mentioned the third reason he's winning the world championship.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, he's winning.
Everybody motherfucking dies. With that being said, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, casual, hardcore, and old, we thank you for tuning in, watching this Simplin Predictin wrestling video that turned into basically a State of AEW Revolution address. Hope you enjoyed the conversations, the outlooks, the technical difficulties, the sunglasses, the rants, and everything in between. We are officially done here predicting this one-of-a-kind, hellish pay-per-view coming up that is definitely going to boggle the mind and really leave us going, what the fuck, by the end of it, one way or another. I cannot wait. Again, it is this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, February 29th, through the Bleacher Report app. And yes, I already ordered it. It was $50, but only $25 for me, as I went 50-50 with a friend. With that being said, gentlemen, good luck to you both, and good luck to the rest of Team IndyDQ, including but not limited to Chris Kaz, Cindy G, if I can reach out to her, Mark Griss reviews, and of course, good brother Christopher Willis. With that being said, James, this was extremely fun, and you already know what you're scheduled for next week, and I'll talk more about that when I do my plugs. But in the meantime, is there anything you want to plug, and where can people find you?
You guys can follow me on YouTube.com, 2 different channels, actually 3 different channels. I can't forget about the third one. That's where I do a lot of my other reviews. The first one, I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to promote it. Check out the Wrestling Rundown, youtube.com/WrestlingFortune44. Think of the faction Fortune, but, you know, less shitty. Wrestling, FORTUNE 44. You can also check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling, which was my CAW league, which is the No DQ CAW league that Owen inspired league that Noah mentioned earlier. That's youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. Please check that out. And of course, check out me on YouTube, my personal YouTube channel. I actually may start coming back out with custom themes again once a month. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds. But if you want to see if I post a video or don't post a video on that channel, youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. I'm sorry, WYW. JHEBERTSIDE95. JHebertSide95 is also at my Twitter handle. And you can also find me on Instagram at JHebert95 if you just want to get in contact with me and talk wrestling. Let's go. I love wrestling, and especially after tonight, I cannot wait for Revolution. Oh, and one more thing, now that I think about it, now that I'm plugging it, it's in the works, but I think I'm going to be doing a live stream of the Wrestling Rundown /Indie Force. That's coming back on my channel. That will definitely be on my channel if I decide to do it. I will update that on Twitter in the coming days. Our reactions to Revolution. So if you want, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel if we do it. No promises, though, but I'm highly considering doing it. With that being said, also, check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling on Instagram if you want to see highlights of the show. and you're not sure if you want to subscribe to the channel yet, there's some pretty good highlights on there. You should watch them. Weymouth Youth Wrestling is the Instagram. And that's it.
All right, good deal, man. Now you can rest your voice.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man. Again, wrestling, this is what happens to us. All right, Chris, you and I, we always do this. It's always an incredibly fun time. Anything you want to plug and where can people find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, The Holiday Christopher Mace. Very humbled honor. I got 475 people actually watch the show, so it's getting up there. Like I said, if I made a deal with everybody, if I got to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, one lucky winner would get a custom a replica championship belt, and you're not going to break me. I'm not spending $749 on a belt, so don't ask, folks. But it will. But like I said, it'll be reasonable, so don't worry about that. But anyway, so please, like I said, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Christopher Mace. About to say my YouTube channel again. Boy, working days are long sometimes, folks. But we love wrestling, so we want to talk about wrestling here. And like I said, you can support other members of the NX team. You can go to my wrestling content list on my YouTube channel, and you can see all their newest content, supportnodq.com, and that's done for me.
All right, fair enough. Before I talk about me, let me also just provide a little bit of an update. The lovely Cindy G, our indie queen, all the best to you, my friend, in college and with your family. Stay high in spirits. We look forward to you returning with predictions once the college term is through. She sent her predictions in too. So here is Cindy G's predictions. And I quote, the bastard Pac, Omega and Paige retains. Yes. And she says that Paige pins Nick Jackson. She also said Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, Nyla retains. P.S. might be subject to change due to Chris Statlander having the flu. With the wild coronavirus pandemic, AEW wanted to make sure she is safe. Well, I don't blame them. And I will be doing a video shortly about that regarding NJPW updates on my channel too. Boy, that hit me hard. Also, she picked Cody, and Mox becomes the new champ. Cindy G, good luck. I thank you. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured out by now with what I let happen during these videos and the conversations that happen, I am a lifelong fan of what, gentlemen?
Wrestling.
Oh, sorry,
wrestling. Not just.
Oh, it was waffles.
So if you want to
wait, hold on.
What?
Wrestling and waffles.
There you go.
All right. Yeah. I tried.
It's better than pancakes, New Day. Take note.
I agree with that. With that being said, I am just the Superman of NoDQ, and I am a lifelong fan of wrestling in all of its forms too. So if you want to talk to me about anything wrestling, including you can look me up on Twitter, nodq.com/Noah, taste my Twitter page, or at mfoster1916. Follow me on Instagram, #SamanLife, at mfoster1916. I'll give you a nice hello, my retrospectives, thoughts in wrestling, some good positive vibes and other stuff too, and simple moments from all my moments and meetups in wrestling as well. And also, please follow the Simple YouTube channel here at youtube.com/user/NoahFoster210. New content here every week. Predictions at the heart of it. Predictions galore of all sorts of wrestling. And then, of course, I do a weekly series, #Two for That Matters, that discuss and reviews cruiserweight wrestling, then, now, forever, and the Two for That brand. And a new series that I really like to bring fan interaction to called AEW Spark, where the Archangel, James Hebert, will join me next week, Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to discuss AEW Revolution, briefly, this week's Dynamite, briefly, AEW Dark and Dev, our thoughts and outlooks on rankings and the upcoming Fallout, AEW Dynamite Revolution 2, and so much more, as we just have fun and talk All Elite Wrestling, as long as we want. Also, there'll be more predictions, there'll be more simple takes, outlooks, and stuff coming up in March, included but not limited to, in comparison with other wrestling channels like Aftermatch Wrestling, Elimination Chamber, NXT TakeOver Tampa, WrestleMania, God help us. Let's go.
Help us. Yep.
Supercard of Honor, Crockett Cup, and when NJPW resumes, whatever comes that day too, because I'm sure they're going to have a very unique schedule. So stay tuned for more of that as well. And if you haven't figured it out by now, the reason I'm even in YouTube is because of this. Support No DQ, the reason I got into YouTube. Forever and dead to the No DQ family. Thank you, Aaron Biss, Stephen Osborne, Jerry Slaughter, Caitlin, the whole family, No DQ Galaxy galore. So go buy a shirt. I have a shirt. Go buy a mug, tapestry, pillow, sticker. Support my friends. Just do it. NoDQ.com/merch take to the store. Follow NoDQ.com on all your social media platforms. Your opinions matter. There's a comment section on every favorite official website. Polls, columns, memes, gifts, reviews, recaps, sexy female pics. You name it, it's there. Primarily wrestling with WWE with a little bit of independent wrestling and AEW. Currently, right now, the No DQ Galaxy Predictions League and Team No DQ Predictions League is going on. And the next event is, of course, the show from Puncher Redacted. So if you want to take part in that, the form is still out there on all No DQ platforms. Let your opinions be known. Join the fun. Beat your friends. Try and beat me. Beat all of us in it, too. And as always, I like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small. Let's keep growing this incredible, diverse, unique, elite, unapologetic, unscripted, 100% authentic wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, we are done here. So what are your thoughts, your predictions, your outlook on All Elite Wrestling, this week's episode of Dynamite, the Countdown, and of course, AEW Revolution? Please let me know in the comments down below. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit that bell and know when the next video is going to go live. Hit the subscribe button, help me grow the channel. Thank you to the 119 or 20, whatever the algorithm says. That's been with me on this fun creator's journey where I just do this simply for fun and the love of professional wrestling in all of its forms. NJPW #1. But you see my banner. I'm all about everything. The 5 brands of WWE, the sports entertainment, the wrestling in NXT, NXT UK, 205 Live, Ring of Honor, Impact, Stardom, Pro Wrestling Noah, NJPW, AEW, NWA. You name it, I've seen it, I like it, I can engage you in it. To a degree. I'm always up to learning. But with that being said, I have talked long enough. It is now officially Thursday, 12:36 a.m. to the February 27th. So thank you again for everyone that tuned in. For the Archangel James Hebert, for the Holiday Chris Mace, I'm just a simple man of No DQ, Noah Foster. And as always, I hope you all take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families. Enjoy wrestling. There's some out there for everybody. Find what connects to you, make it your own, and have fun with it too. And until the next video, as always, be elite. May life be too sweet. And may you all have a good night.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Good night, y'all.
Oh, my Lord in heaven. You talk about going all out, and it's not even the name of the pay-per-view. Well done, gentlemen. I thank you.
Thank you, brother.